Hello and welcome to another episode of Current Affairs MCQ. Let us begin with the previous day's question. With reference to PM Kaushal Vikas Yojana, consider the following statements. 1. It promotes international mobility and on-the-job training by recognizing prior learning and equipping Indian workers with globally recognized skills. 2. Under this scheme, the target beneficiaries include individuals aged 15 to 30 years. 3. It aligns with PM Vishwakarma, PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana, National Green Hydrogen Mission. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. The correct answer is option B. Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 4.0. It provides short-term training, reskilling and upskilling. 400 plus new courses introduced in emerging technologies like AI, 5G, cybersecurity, green hydrogen, and drone technology. Focus on international mobility and on-the-job training by recognition of prior learning and equipping Indian workers with globally recognized skills. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Target beneficiaries: individuals aged 15 to 59 years. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. It aligns with PM Vishwakarma, PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana, National Green Hydrogen Mission, and Nal Jal Mitra, ensuring cross-sector impact. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Question 1. Consider the following pairs. We have AI tools and their application areas. 1. Supace, Health. 2. Mule Hunter AI, Financial Governance. 3. Sarvam 1, Agriculture. How many of the pairs given above is or are correctly matched? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. The correct answer is option A. Supace, Supreme Court Portal for Assistance in Court Sufficiency, is an AI-based portal that aids judges in legal research by collecting relevant facts and laws. Hence, pair 1 is not correctly matched. MuleHunter.ai, developed by Reserve Bank of India, detects mule accounts used in financial scams. Hence, pair 2 is correctly matched. Sarvam 1 is a large language model designed for Indian languages with applications in language translation, text summarization, and content generation. Hence, pair 3 is not correctly matched. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Question 2. Consider the following statements regarding Skill Impact Bond. 1. It is India's first development impact bond focused on skills training and job placement. 2. As of 2025, Telangana has the highest enrollment under the SIB. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option A. Skill Impact Bond is India's first development impact bond, launched in 2021, focused on skills training and job placement. It shifts focus from enrollment to outcomes like placement and retention. Hence, statement 1 is correct. SIB aims to skill 50,000 youth with 60% women, especially from marginalized and rural backgrounds. According to the SIB report 2025, Jharkhand led with the highest enrollment at 27%, followed by Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, and Telangana. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Question 3. Consider the following statements regarding the National Board for Wildlife. 1. It is a statutory body established under the Environment Protection Act 1986. 2. The board is responsible for approving projects in and around protected areas and eco-sensitive zones. 3. The Prime Minister of India serves as the chairperson of the NBWL. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 and 2 only. B. 2 and 3 only. C. 1 and 3 only. D. 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is option B. National Board for Wildlife is a statutory body constituted in 2003 under Section 5A of Wildlife Protection Act 1972, replacing the Indian Board for Wildlife 1952 as an apex advisory body on wildlife conservation and forest development. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. NBWL approves projects in and around protected areas and eco-sensitive zones within 10 kilometers. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The NBWL is a 47-member statutory body chaired by the Prime Minister with the Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change as the Vice Chairperson. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Question 4. Project Sambhav, sometimes seen in news, can be best described as A. A waste to energy initiative for sustainable military cantonments. B. 5G based secure mobile communication system of the Indian Army. C. A river interlinking project to address water scarcity in border areas. D. A cyber literacy program for armed forces personnel. The correct answer is option B. Launched under the Indian Army's 2024 Year of Technology Absorption, Project Sambhav is a secure 5G-based network-agnostic mobile system. It enables instant and encrypted communication on the move, even in remote or high-risk operational areas. Sambhav is designed to boost battlefield communication, making it faster, more secure and reliable. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Question 5. Consider the following statements regarding the Central Adoption Resource Authority. 1. CARA is a statutory body under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. 2. It is the nodal authority for overseas adoption in India under the Hague Convention 1993. 3. It monitors and regulates domestic adoptions under the Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children Act 2015. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 and 2 only. B. 2 and 3 only. C. 3 only. D. 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is option B. The Central Adoption Resource Authority, CARA, is a statutory and autonomous body under the Ministry of Women and Child Development. It facilitates the adoption of orphaned, abandoned and surrendered children through recognized agencies in India. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. CARA functions as the central authority for inter-country adoptions under the Hague Convention on Protection of Children and Cooperation in respect of inter-country adoption 1993, which India ratified in 2003. Hence, statement 2 is correct. CARA monitors and regulates domestic adoptions under the Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children Act 2015. It ensures that adoptions within India follow legal safeguards and ethical standards to protect the rights and welfare of orphaned, abandoned and surrendered children. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Question 6. Consider the following statements regarding global nuclear treaties. 1. India is a signatory to the 1987 Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty. 2. Russia and China are parties to the New START Treaty. 3. The Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty or CTBT bans all nuclear test explosions, whether for military or civilian purposes. How many of the statements given above is or are not correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. The correct answer is option D. The 1987 Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, signed between the US and the Soviet Union, banned all ground-launched ballistic and cruise missiles with a range of 500 to 5,500 kilometers. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. The New Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, New START, 2010 is a bilateral arms control agreement between the US and Russia. It places verifiable limits on deployed strategic nuclear warheads and the delivery systems for both countries. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. The Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty bans all nuclear explosions, whether for military or peaceful purposes, by everyone, everywhere, whether above ground, underwater or underground. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Question 7. Recently seen in the news, sea buckthorn, also known as the wonder plant, can be best described as A. A marine algae species used in biofuel production. B. A coastal mangrove plant aiding in shoreline stabilization. C. A hardy, drought-resistant shrub native to cold deserts of the Himalayas. D. A seaweed variety cultivated for pharmaceutical uses. The correct answer is option C. Sea buckthorn, also known as the wonder plant or Ladakh gold, is a hardy, drought-resistant shrub distributed across Europe and Asia, especially in the cold deserts of the Himalayas. It tolerates extreme temperatures, fixes atmospheric nitrogen, and helps prevent soil erosion and prevents desertification. Traditionally, all parts of the plant, fruits, leaves, thorns, roots are used for medicine, nutrition, fuel, and fencing. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Question 8. Consider the following statements regarding cryogenic technology. 1. A cryogenic stage in launch vehicles uses liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen as propellants liquefied at extremely high temperatures. 2. Cryogenic engines are primarily used in the upper stages of launch vehicles, offering high efficiency and thrust. 3. Cryogenic technology is also used in MRI machines, food preservation, and superconductors. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? A. Only one. B. Only two. C. All three. D. None. The correct answer is option B. A cryogenic stage uses liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen as propellants, liquefied at 183 degrees Celsius and minus 253 degrees Celsius respectively, that is extremely low temperatures. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. Cryogenic engines are used in the upper stage of launch vehicles like GSLV, offering high efficiency and thrust. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Cryogenic technology is also used in MRI machines using liquid helium for cooling, food storage and preservation, special effects, artificial fog, recycling, material separation, biomedical preservation, freezing blood and tissue samples, and in cooling superconductors for scientific and industrial use. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Question 9. Consider the following statements regarding the Information Fusion Center, Indian Ocean region. 1. The IFC-IOR, established in 2018, is a regional information sharing center jointly managed by the Indian Navy and Indian Coast Guard. 2. IFC-IOR facilitates exchange of data on white shipping to improve maritime domain awareness in the Indian Ocean region. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 only. B. 2 only. C. Both 1 and 2. D. Neither 1 nor 2. The correct answer is option C. The Information Fusion Center, Indian Ocean Region, IFC-IOR, is a 24/7 regional information sharing center established by the Government of India in 2018. It is hosted by the Indian Navy at Gurugram and is jointly administered by the Indian Navy and Indian Coast Guard, especially through the Information Management and Analysis Center platform. Hence, statement 1 is correct. To facilitate better coordination and quicker information flow, the IFC-IOR hosts international liaison officers from partner nations. These officers help streamline maritime data sharing and enhance real-time maritime situational awareness. One of the core objectives of IFC-IOR is to facilitate white shipping information exchange, that is, data on commercial, non-military merchant vessels with regional and extra-regional countries. This improves maritime domain awareness across the Indian Ocean region. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Question 10. Consider the following statements regarding Sarnath. 1. Gautam Buddha delivered his first sermon in Sarnath after attaining enlightenment. 2. The Chaukhandi Stupa in Sarnath was built in 1588 by Govardhan to mark Humayun's visit after the Battle of Chausa 1539. 3. Chinese pilgrim Huan Sam visited Sarnath in the 7th century and provided detailed accounts of the Dharma Rajika Stupa and Ashoka's lion capital. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. The correct answer is option C. Sarnath is the place where Gautam Buddha delivered his first sermon, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, after attaining enlightenment at Bodh Gaya. This marks the beginning of the Buddhist Sangha and makes Sarnath one of the most important Buddhist pilgrimage sites. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The Chaukhandi Stupa, originally built to mark the site where Buddha met his first disciples, was later topped by an octagonal Mughal tower in 1588 CE by Govardhan, son of Raja Todarmal, to commemorate Emperor Humayun's visit after the Battle of Chausa. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The Chinese pilgrim Huan Sang visited Sarnath in the 7th century CE. During his travels, he observed several important Buddhist monuments. He left detailed descriptions of the Dharmarajika Stupa and Ashoka's lion pillar. His accounts provide valuable historical insights into Sarnath's significance during that period. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Now, let us look at a practice question for today. Consider the following statements. 1. As of 2025, India ranks 3rd in solar, 4th in wind, and 4th in total renewable energy capacity globally. 2. India aims to achieve 500 gigawatts of non-fossil capacity by 2030 and 1800 gigawatts by 2047. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 only, B. 2 only, C. Both 1 and 2, D. Neither 1 nor 2. Please provide your answers in the comments section.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.